Hey, I'm Owen.
I'm Collin.
We're from TC Blitzball.
So today we're going to be talking about the recent Blitzball on Ice video and kind of like the behind the scenes on that. Then we'll introduce the awards for this upcoming season and kind of give our thoughts on who we might think might win those awards. Then we'll end it off with some trivia.
Right. Start off, Blitzball on Ice. Blitzball on Ice, it's kind of just like I would say spur of the moment idea.
Yes, very.
I was in the car. I went ahead. I was headed over to hockey. Decided that I thought Blitzball on Ice was a good idea. Texted Colin. We got to set up for the next day. That's a quick introduction. Colin, take it away.
Yeah, I was coming back from baseball and I got that text and I was like, well, I would have a major disadvantage. And as you guys, if you watch that video, which if you haven't watched that video, go ahead and check it out because I think it's pretty good. But the video, like in general, I knew I was gonna have a big disadvantage because I've skated like once before. But and the other three people playing were all hockey players. But overall, I think it made a really good video. There's some crazy moments, and it was really like a video that we didn't expect to turn out this good as it did.
Yeah, I mean, after the first inning, when me and Colin just easily got to the 5-run mercy rule, I was like, oh boy, this is going to be a terrible game. But Carson and Will were able to climb back and actually send it to extra innings. So that just made for a very good game. Uh, Blitzball Minnesota edition, I guess you could call it.
Yep. Which actually next week in Minnesota, it's gonna be 40 degrees like all
So,
week.
so that's we could be playing real Blitzball by then.
Yeah. Snow's gonna be melting.
Yeah, we were playing Blitzball with ice skates on a lake 2 weeks ago, and we're already moving on to real Blitzball here soon.
Yep. And the cars driving by, I know you mentioned it in the video, but every time a car drove by, it was like they looked at us
Oh yeah. I
very
mean, they'd
weird.
be they'd be cruising along, like they were going probably 10, 15 miles an hour when they get by us. The brake lights would go on. Couple of them like skidded their tires almost. They'd go ahead and look over at us. I mean, people walking by, they'd be like, "I've never seen baseball on ice before." So
We also got a dog to join us.
we did have a dog join us.
Yep, we did.
A dog did go ahead and field a ball.
That didn't happen.
He grabbed the ball with his mouth.
Did he really?
Yeah,
And I
like
pitched that
during
thing?
during warm-ups.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. More behind the scenes. By the way, the editing for that one was maybe the most draining editing I've ever done in my life. That was a lot of film to go through, and it was the first time I've ever done full at bats for every at bat of the game, and so that took a good like 3 straight days of grind, but we got there. So
Turned out very well, so worth it.
yep, it was very worth it. I think.
Let's take a couple steps back here. So we were originally planning on having it be you, me, Leon, and one other person. That's just kind of how we are trying to plan most of our games. Just the three of us there because we are aware of how to make it nice and entertaining. So we asked Leon, and Leon became a maybe. Then we went ahead and asked Will, who ended up making it into the game. He was like, "Sure, I'll show up." So we had Colin, myself, Will, and then Leon maybe. So about what was it, like an hour before the game, we texted Leon and he's like, "No, I can't come." So I asked my brother, who for your information is scared to death of playing blitzball with us because last time we tried to play blitzball with him, I did go ahead and smack him in the face with a line drive, broke his glasses, got a nice cut under his eye. So that was fun for him. But I just told him that's on ice, so you're gonna have a huge advantage because he plays hockey. He agreed, and we got a really good game out of it. And he surprisingly he played out of his mind.
He was the only player who hit a home run.
Only player who hit a home run, struck me and Collin out, I think once or even twice each.
He had a double in there too.
He had a double in there.
I think he walked a lot.
He did.
And
He
that's
did.
maybe a combination of my bad pitching and his good eye, but
I mean, he
like,
just played. He played really smart blitzball.
yeah.
I did not expect him to do that.
And one of the underrated plays from that game was Will, when he made that. It was just a pop up. He caught a pop up, and when you think of catching a pop up, you don't think, oh, what a play. But with gloves on, like skating, that's pretty
With
impressive out
gloves
there.
on ice, if you go a little too far, it's tougher. Probably not as tough for Will because he's a hockey player, but for Collin, he's gonna have to turn around fully, take a couple steps, turn around again, and then grab the ball. For
And
Will, all he
also,
had to do was take a nice step backwards, but he got himself in a nice position, made it a real nice catch. So we had it all. We had flyouts, strikeouts, home runs, singles, doubles,
and how about
plays in the
that
field.
play?
The play in the field, oh, buttery.
All right. Shall we move on to the
I,
awards?
I think that's pretty much everything we have to cover about that.
I think so too. So, Owen and I have kind of stirred up a couple awards here
We
for
have.
next season. And
So,
we're not giving out awards for last season, by the way, because that was kind of just like, yeah,
oh, that was brutal. We didn't
people
even
showed
really have.
up to 3 games,
Yeah.
maximum.
So, you want me to do it? You want to do it?
Let's just like go through them.
Okay.
I'll start with MVP. It's kind of a
It's a
obvious. Every
very
league's gonna have an MVP award.
every league has to have an MVP. It's the most bare bones award you can have.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's MVP. Next up, we have the Silver Slugger and the Golden Glove, two awards that also you see in a lot of leagues. Silver Slugger, best hitter in the league, and Golden Glove, the best fielder in the league, not the best pitcher. That'll go to the Cy Young, which is another award. So we have the Silver Slugger, Golden Glove, and the Cy Young, all one or singular kind of categories. So the Golden Glove is the best fielder, not the best pitcher. So or it could be the best pitcher as well if the whoever the best pitcher is decides to have a nice season fielding.
And the Silver Slugger, I'll just mention real quick. I think if you are a very good contact hitter, but you don't hit for much power, like if you have like a really good batting average, but not many home runs, then you're a lot less likely to win this award than somebody with kind of an average batting average, but leads the league in home runs.
Yeah,
Also,
exactly.
because a slugger's kind of guy who's driving in the runs and making
Exactly.
making
And
scores happen.
yeah, yes, just a hitter who's always doing something, who you can always trust at the plate. It's and all just so you know, these awards aren't going to be just whoever has the best stats. It's going to be whoever clear as day on the video. If you didn't show someone the stats and showed them a couple of games, you could easily point out who's who
Yeah.
or point out some candidates.
And the Cy Young, another thing to mention for the Cy Young Award, it isn't just based off of stuff. Like, let's say Owen has his nasty screwball and he's got his curveball and stuff, but he doesn't execute that. No Cy Young Award.
Yeah, it's got to be the player who's always has all their pitches locked in. I mean, you maybe have one off day, but
Yeah.
he's always a person who, in the late of the innings, when you need him,
Playoffs.
he's able to dial the pitches in. You know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yep. All right. These are where well, next up we got Rookie of the Year. And Rookie of the Year is
They're
also,
pretty self-explanatory.
yeah, Rookie of the Year. And you're probably wondering who are the rookies.
We
Will
couple.
Will M from the you saw him in Blitzball and Ice. He's one of the rookies who you'll see. You'll hear some names probably if they for sure sign up, like Cooper Tate.
Yeah, they'll definitely be signing up. Maybe Carson if he decides to play if he can figure it out.
If he gets over
I
his nightmares.
Yeah, we'll see how he progresses. Luke is another name who is joining the league.
Mm-hmm. He was one of the
And,
originals when we first created the league, or I shouldn't say we, I should say Owen and Leon. But when they first created the league, he was one of the like original captains. So he never
yeah,
played last year, but he's coming back.
he's coming back and he's ready to go. He's gonna play some games, hopefully. So we'll see how that turns out.
Mm-hmm.
Next up,
Most improved.
most improved player. Again, very self-explanatory. The player who makes the most improvements.
Yeah, I could see a couple of different people making this
Oh yeah,
or getting this award. We'll talk about who we think is going to win these awards after we go through one last one. But yeah, most improved is just goes to the person who didn't have a great year last year and bounced back.
or even at the start of this year.
Yeah, sure.
Like maybe their first two games they were really not that great, and over time they were able to get on their game, figure it all out, and really start to raise themselves up and become one of the top names in the league.
And I wouldn't say that we would give the most improved award like let's say Leon's curveball moves 4 feet and he gets it to move 7 feet. Oh, he improved so much. But he was already good. So I wouldn't say we'd give it to somebody like that.
He already had a curveball that can move 4 feet.
Yeah. All right.
That's
And would you like to introduce the last award?
and the last award is Captain of the Year. So there's three captains. So you have a 33% chance of winning this. And I don't think this is going to have anything to do with skill. It's going to have to do with how well you know how to build the team and make your team better. It's going to be between the three captains, myself, Owen, Collin, and Leon. So probably whoever. I mean, look for probably the winner of the Blitzball TC Blitzball Championship to have the best odds, but that's not necessarily how this award is going to be scored. It'll be whoever can, you know, just be a captain,
Good leader.
be a good captain, a good leader, makes his team better, teaches his players and whatnot.
Yeah. I agree with that. You want to go through now and
Let's
decide
start bottom to top on our list.
bottom to top. I like that.
Yeah, so we'll
Captain.
start with captain of the year.
Who do you got?
I'm gonna let you go first.
All right, I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna say Leon because I know how Leon drafts. We did a draft last year, and he drafts to get people who are good, but who also he knows well, and he can get like good team chemistry with.
And
And
who,
I
who
think
he can make relations with.
yeah, and I think that would really help him. Like if he's better friends, like let's say he drafts somebody who doesn't know as well, he might not be as easy to
Yeah.
help teach them how to
And he
improve.
just won't be as
So,
comfortable with them.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
I agree, Leon. I think he's just and even like off the field he's a great leader, like being in classes and stuff with him and just being one of his real life friends.
mhm.
All right, let's move on. Oh, yeah, let's go most improved.
All right, let us do it.
So most improved. So I think the 3 to 4 to 5 that aren't going to get this award for sure are the top guys from last year. So obviously, me, Colin, Leon, we won't get it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Will would get it unless he like
I think Will. I don't
becomes
think
the
Drew.
first overall player, then maybe. But
Yeah, I think it'll most likely be someone drafted in the second rounds. So that'll be someone like
you know,
Will from Blitzball on Ice. He's a candidate. I'm thinking if Carson shows up, he could he could be a he could be an underdog for it. Maybe someone like Luke.
are we talking about most improved?
Yeah, we're talking about most improved.
Okay, I see.
I don't think many of the people who played in maybe Christopher. Christopher's a guy who I could see getting it if he figures out how to throw like good curveballs and stuff, and he can figure out his hitting. Yeah. Honestly, Christopher is my guy. I'm taking Christopher for this.
Yeah. Oh, and I can tell you're pretty high on Christopher having a good season.
Really,
I know you really want him in the draft. I'm not gonna.
Christopher is kind of my guy at the moment.
And for my pick, I'm going similar to Christopher. He was Christopher's teammate. I'm going with Noah.
Oh yeah,
I think Noah definitely has potential. He's got a huge power swing. He's got a nice curveball, a nice fastball. He just hasn't really locked it in, adjusted to blitzball yet. So I think if he really like can convert his baseball skills, which he's a really good baseball player, uh, to blitzball, then he could become the most improved player easily.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think a lot of people could get this.
Yeah. I could even see somebody,
There's not like three guys who are for sure going to get it like the MVP.
yeah, which MVP, I have some dark horses too. But
Really,
next up, we've got Rookie of the Year.
rookie of the year. So far, we only have I think four rookies, three.
Yeah, I believe that would be Will from Blitzball and Ice, Will M.
Yep,
Then it would be Cooper, it'd be Tate,
Cooper.
and it'd be Luke.
Yeah,
I'll tell you who I have wins.
I think we're probably on the same page. I do have a dark horse, but I think we're on the same page.
Yeah. So I've got Will.
I got Will.
Lefty is in Blitzball, being a lefty pitcher is so much more of an asset than you think
Yeah,
because it is just fooling a righty batter out of his socks when he sees that ball. When I'm facing Drew in that first tournament and the ball looks like it's going to hit me and it hits the strike zone, and then on camera it looks like it didn't move at all, it's just kind of like nasty.
and you can see me myself as a righty. Like my pitches on Drew are so much more effective than they are on like against like Collin or Leon or something like that.
Yeah. And Will, we saw like he hit like a laser up the middle at one point. He had good hits. He hit a foul ball that went like 150 feet.
Yeah,
So you can tell his hitting is good too. And he wasn't facing prime Owen because Owen was on skates, but that still shows potential.
yeah, but I also wasn't facing Prime Will because he was on skates as well.
That's true. That is very true. So
I think we both got Will for this one.
can I hear your dark horse that you mentioned?
I'm thinking Tate. He's just a really athletic guy. He's got some speed, and if he spends enough time on it, I think he could be a guy who's up there.
All right. I like that. And then watch out for Cooper too, because he plays baseball and
He does. He does.
I can totally see him being rookie of the year. But let's move on.
Let's move on.
Cy Young.
Let's go Golden Glove first.
Let's go Golden Glove. All right, let's do it.
Golden Glove first. This. I don't even know how to explain this one. I think it's my thinking is it's not going to be one of the top three, me, Leon, or Collin, just because we're going to be the guys who are pitching more than not.
I agree with that.
So it's going to be one of the athletic guys who can move around. I'm thinking, honestly, I know I said him last time, but Tate, if he shows up to games, he could be a good guy for this because he's low to the ground. He's low to the ground. He's fast. He's athletic. He's shifty. He can move around. Maybe like a Leo who's also shifty, low to the ground, fast. But it also could be someone like Will who's tall, who can move. He can catch a ball if he needs. So I don't know. This is a really hard one to predict.
Yeah, this is a very hard one to predict. I do have someone in the top three, and that would be another Leon pick,
Really?
really. Because I think Leon, especially if he gets the second overall pick, he can get a pitcher who's better than him with that pick, especially if I pick who I'm planning on picking number one.
True.
So I think that would probably be the pitcher number one. That leaves Leon in the field, and Leon's a good fielder in baseball. We've seen him field good in blitzball, so I don't know. I just see Gold Glove candidate in him.
Yeah. All right, move on. We're gonna head up to the Silver Slugger now.
All right.
Uh, right off the bat, I think if Noah can learn how to make contact with some of the pitches that really move, it'll easily be him. But at the moment, unless he figures that out in the first two-ish games, I just don't think he'll have enough time to really prove himself.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think just some of the more consistent hitters right now are obviously me, Colin, and Leon. So we'll be front runners for this. We'll be front runners for most of these top awards. You
Yeah,
know, some of the more under the weather guys, Will and Drew, obviously both baseball players. Yeah, my guys are Noah, Will, and Drew.
really.
Yeah.
I think this one for me is a. I don't want to say easy pick because there's guys who it could be, but I like Drew for this award.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. He's been,
Best lefty bat in the league, easy.
yeah. Oh, he's easily the best lefty bat.
I don't think we even have any other lefty bats.
Yeah, I don't think we do. Oh,
But
why bat
Wyatt, yeah, if he plays,
if he plays?
but not as good as Drew.
Yeah,
And yeah, Drew's just a really good baseball hitter. So if he plays,
I can see him.
yeah. And then my second pick would be you because last year you easily had the best batting average. You tied for most homers. So that's Silver Slugger
Yeah.
candidate.
All right. Last of the three categorical awards, the Cy Young.
This one, I'm just going to say it easy. It's you.
Yeah, I agree. It it's gonna be one of us three.
Yeah. For listeners, though, I don't think people understand how crazy it is. If you don't know yet, somehow, Owen doesn't play baseball, but he's got just the pitching mechanics and stuff where he's got a screwball, he's got two seam, curveball, slider ish. So, if you put all that together and you have a good season, and a riser too.
Oh yeah, if I can figure that one out.
Yeah. If you put all that together, though, I think it's a Cy Young lock.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be humble. You can just say it's you.
So I got a guy in mind. His name is Owen.
Yeah. There you go.
I usually like to stay humble, but Colin told me not to be humble, so it's gonna be me this year. I'm trying to win a couple tournaments even, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna I'm gonna really lock my pitching in, and it's gonna be me.
All right. There we go. Non-humble
And
Owen.
MVP.
MVP.
I'll let you go first here, Colin.
I haven't picked this person for any awards yet, and I want to pick them, so it's me.
I'm gonna go ahead and pick myself. I honestly just don't think anybody's at my level yet. So no, but realistically, I know Colin's gonna really want to put his mind to it because he's also in the same boat. He wants to get to tournaments. He wants to do good in the tournaments.
Yeah.
And Colin's the only one who really pitches at his house. My backyard, I've kind of quit pitching in my house. Um, yeah,
I know Leon pitches in his little field he has in his house too, but
yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
as much as me. And I think my bat to ball skills from baseball can carry over.
Oh, absolutely. And if you just worked at it long enough, you'll get there.
Yeah. I think at the end of last season, I just kind of like, I don't know, it's a weird feeling. It was like I just couldn't see the ball really. Like, I'm not trying to make excuses, but it was just not like when somebody would throw a screwball, I would just think it's a mile outside and I'd be like,
That's
no, I'd quit on it. And oh, well, it's a strike.
Yeah, this one is 100% going to be either me, Colin, or Leon.
Yeah.
No,
Unless like a guy like Drew just has an insane season.
unless he gets better than Owen.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have enough time to focus on blitzball to do that.
Yeah, I know. He's really busy.
And he doesn't want to mess up his baseball mechanics.
I know. That's one of the things that I'm a little concerned about with just pitching a blitzball. That's why I'm trying to get as good as a pitcher as I can possibly get in the first round. I haven't really mentioned this yet, but I want to pitch a little less this year. So,
Yeah,
because I just don't want to screw up baseball mechanics.
that's true.
Shall we go on to trivia?
We should move on to trivia. Last segment of the night.
Hope you guys enjoyed the awards segment.
Yeah. So we each made two sets of three questions. We'll go back and forth. If you get the question right, you get a point. If you get the question wrong, whoever made the question gets a point.
Okay.
And whoever has the most points at the end of the game wins. If there's a tie, we'll come up with a tiebreaker on the spot.
All right, let's do it. Who's going first?
I'll go first because you did it last episode.
Okay.
So I'm gonna read all of mine first, and then you're gonna read all yours.
Okay.
First question. What was the original name of TC Blitzball?
Oh man. The original name of TC Blitzball.
The
Oh,
original name.
I know this. I know this because I got added to a group chat.
Yeah, you should know this.
I got added to a group chat for like 10 seconds
Yeah.
and then I didn't. But I wasn't really part of the league back then. I just remember this, and it was LLB, League Blitzball.
Little League Blitzball. That is correct.
I'm so glad that was correct. I said that so confidently.
And where was the original field located?
The original field, was it? I
This
don't
does
know.
to be on the official LLB rules sheet.
I don't know if I was added to the LLB rule sheet.
You were, and it was along with the exact dimensions of this field, with first base being exactly 2 feet closer than third base.
Okay, well, I want to say Leon's backyard.
That is correct. It is Leon's backyard.
Okay.
And who were the original 3 commissioners?
I'm going to say you and Leon.
Yep. 1, 2.
And the last one is either going to be Luke, Wilson. You guys probably don't know Wilson, or some of these guys were mentioned, but no, Drew.
What's your final answer?
Yeah,
Drew, your final answer?
yeah, it is.
That is correct. Owen, Leon, and Drew were the original 3.
I
Collin
just
with an astounding 3 out of 3 in the first set.
those are some like old questions too.
Yeah, both of my 2 sets both have a theme. That one was old.
Yeah, I was like, if you look at the sheet, the Blitzball sheet where people signed up, it was like I was like maybe like the 10th person to sign up. So
Yeah.
I wasn't one of the OGs. I'll say that.
Yeah. Alrighty.
My first 3 questions, I couldn't really find too many questions because I did a lot of them last time, but I did find questions. So first question: how many hits did Leo have in the first tournament?
Let's see. I know he had at least 1.
Yep.
I know he had at least 2 because he hit the walk off, or not a walk off, go ahead, single or double or something.
Well,
I'm gonna go with 2.
Is 2 your final answer?
Yeah, 2's my final answer.
The answer is 3.
Got it.
He did have another single against me, so he kind of owned me. Say that.
Should have just given myself a little bit of clearance, but it's all right.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm 0 for 1.
So I'm winning 4-0.
You're winning 4-0.
This is just like the random ball at bats.
Right.
Question number 2: who has won the most game MVPs? We have a spreadsheet where we put all the game MVPs. So who has won the most of them?
No, I know I have 1, maybe 2. I know Will has 1, or maybe it was Drew. Leo, I think Leo is the game MVP of the championship. What is it? Is this both tournaments or just the first one?
Just every game we've played.
Okay. I'm gonna go with me.
And that would be correct. You have the most with 4.
4. All right. One more question. I'm 1
And
for
the
2.
last question: who are the 2 people tied for second for most game MVPs?
It's gonna be. Do both of these have 2?
Each of these people have 2.
Okay. Which means I think it's gonna be Collin. It's either Collin or Leon and someone else. It could be Will. It's gonna be Will. It's gonna be Will and Collin.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
And that would be incorrect.
God,
it is Will. You got Will.
And Leon?
And it's Leon.
Yeah.
With 2.
Had to make a guess. All right. So Collin is up 5-1.
All right.
Going into the final 6. My first question of the second set. In 2024, Owen led all but 1 stat category. What was that 1 stat category?
Oh, boy. Oh, man. I know batting average, home runs, I think RBIs, although, yeah.
You need to think outside the box.
It's going to be like something pitching, probably. And I'm gonna say I think you had the most strikeouts. Oh, hold on. So you guys got the bye to the championship game in the first tournament, and so I'm gonna say games played.
That's a very good poll, and you got it right. Game played is correct.
Oh man.
So I lead every. By the way, this is me just glazing myself. I lead every stat category with less games played than everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Second, what was the average batting average?
Oh, come on.
You can be within .05.
Okay. Well, we're including lower people, so I'm gonna say like 400.
That works.
Seriously?
.376.
Oh my gosh.
Final question. Out of all the teams that had more than one player play a game, which team had the lowest average batting average?
What do you mean by teams?
Like all of the teams from last year, all 6 of them,
Okay.
who had more than one player play a game.
All right. So the 3 teams that had a player play a game were the Lumberjacks, the Mallards, and the Mongooses.
Yep.
The Lumberjacks, it's not going to be because Drew had a good batting average and you just popped off. Mallards, it's got a good average of me and Leon, so I'm going to use process elimination and say the Mongooses.
And what was their batting average? You have to be within .05.
Man, like 250.
That is incorrect. It was .01.
Oh, wow.
Because Jonah had a batting average of 0.
Oh, that's rough.
So I'll give you a point for that. I'll also give myself a point.
All right, I have my last set of questions for you here.
Last 3, the score what, like 6-2?
6-2.
Okay,
Yeah,
last
this is
last
domination.
worth double.
Worth double each one?
Yeah, each year is worth double.
Okay.
Let
Who
us begin.
who was on the thumbnail of all 5 of the first tournament games? So that first tournament, who was on the thumbnail of each of the 5 videos? And you don't have to tell me exactly which one, just the 5 people.
Okay, I got this. I know I was on one.
Yeah, you were.
I know Drew was on one because he was doing his weird pose.
Yep, he looked sort of like an ostrich.
I think Leon was on one.
Yep, Leon was on one. He was on the championship game.
That's 3. Leo was on one.
Leo was on one.
And dude, it's either Jonah, Will, or you. I'll go with you.
Yep.
There it is.
There it is. That is a great round right there.
Bang.
All right. So what's the score now? 6-4?
6-4.
Oh man. Okay, question number 2. What is the longest non-podcast video on our channel?
It's got to be TC Blitzball on ice. Like 18 minutes.
Yeah, that is correct.
There it is.
That is correct. All right.
One more play.
Close out your YouTube tab here.
Oh, my YouTube tab is closed.
All right, it best be closed.
It is closed. This is for the win. The score is 6-6. Winner take all.
Oh, no. All right. For all the marbles, what is our most viewed YouTube short?
The only reason I know this.
Oh, no. You know it?
I was at this thing at Culver's along with Wilson and Drew, and they found one of their friends, or not even really a friend. It was like a counselor guy from a camp or something, and they asked him if he knew what TC Blitzball was. He's like, no. So I showed him.
No.
And Wilson was like, "What's your how many views do you have?" And I said 109,000 because that's how many views we have. And then,
What? Really?
yeah.
Wow.
And then he's like, "What is your most viewed video?" And I was like, 24,000 views because I looked and I found it, and it is a mic'd up at bat. It's the one where the batter chooses the pitches, and the one where you use the pencil bat, or the one with the clip the pencil bat being thrown. Yeah, that's what it is. And I just won the game, didn't I?
Is that your final answer?
Oh, that's easily my final answer. I know it's right.
It's right.
Yeah, I know
It is right.
And I am the winner.
What a pull. What a comeback. Owen wins that trivia
Yeah,
round.
totally didn't just give myself the win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's double each question.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do now. I'm gonna go ahead on the spot. You get this question right, you win.
Oh, okay.
Just because I feel nice and bad that I did go ahead
Cheated.
and cheat. So as I go ahead and find a
Go ahead and cheat.
no, as I go ahead and find a category here.
Yeah.
Who was the first overall selection by what team in the draft last year?
I know I was second, and I know I disagreed with the first overall pick. I thought I should have been second, but I thought the person who got selected first should not have gone first. And I thought Drew should have gone first, but Drew went third. So that draft was completely chaotic. But the only reason I remember who went first overall is because at the time of the draft on the FaceTime call, he was on the roof.
Oh my god.
Do you remember that?
I remember that.
And so with the first overall pick, it was Cade. And he hasn't made an appearance on TC Blitzball, but he was the first overall pick.
And who was the fourth overall pick? The last pick of that?
Oh,
Because
man.
it went Cade.
Other Collin. Is the other Collin.
It was the other Collin.
Yeah.
And then
But
who was?
you said the team, right?
Yeah, who? Yeah, you know the team now, right?
Yeah, no, I know whose team. It was Luke's team.
And what was the name of Luke's team?
The name of I'm between two. I forgot sort of.
I did too.
It's either the Shockers or the Blue Bombers.
One of them was Wilson. One of them was.
One of them was Wilson. One of them was Luke.
Yeah.
And I think that it was the Blue Bombers. So I'm gonna lock that in.
Unfortunately, you are correct.
Yeah.
There it is. Collin is your winner.
Okay, but I feel bad, so I'm gonna give you another.
All right.
All right. So thank you for tuning into this long and amazing podcast. Make sure to, if you're watching this and you've made it to this point in the podcast, comment down below. Owen is humble. And
yes,
we will
please.
see you in about an hour.
We'll see you in about an hour. Goodbye.